Reviewing the library databases, part 2. Hi everyone. So at this point you should have already watched part 1 of reviewing the library databases. If you did not watch that video, I say stop this video, go to the first video, watch that one because I talk a little bit about the paper prompt, and then you can watch this one. So like the last video where I introduced CQ Researcher, this one I'm going to introduce a database called Point of View, or Points of View, we'll see right now. But anyway, you get to that database the same way you got to CQ Researcher. So if you still have the library site open, then be patient with me. I'll get to that point in a minute. But for now, I just want to remind you, the way you get there is through Canvas. You click on the DACC library link that's on our Canvas site. It takes you to this website. You click on See All Databases, right? And then it'll take you to this alphabetized bar here. So I want you to click on the P, and then it's Points of View Reference Center. And as you do research for other classes, look at the different kinds of databases there are. So if you're doing something for like a psychology class, this would be a database that you would click on. If you're doing something that's more related to popular culture, this is something that you would click on. Our essays dealing with technology is something that could also be defined in popular culture. So if you don't see anything under CQ Researcher that would work, or under these Points of View one that I'm gonna review for you, look at other databases that perhaps might give you some articles to use for this essay. So pop culture might work. I'll go back to the P's. I'll give you a few others. This Academic One file, or Academic Search Complete, is also very general, and because it's so general, they house so many different kinds of resources on all sorts of scholarly topics. So these might be some that are potential databases for you to look through. So either Academic One file or Academic Search Complete. But we're going to look at Points of View. So go back to the P, go to Points of View Reference Center. It's taking a while to load. And this one is very similar to the CQ Researcher. So it gives you topics that are in the news right now. And then it groups them by category. So most of us are working with something related, like Points of View related to technology. So maybe if we go to internet, that would be something that could give us a potential source to use. So before I go to these, let me just in the search bar just put in technology and see what comes up. So here I typed in technology. And then what happens is that I get the type of source that it's given me. So these are actual ebooks that are posted that might give me a potential chapter that I could include in my discussion. But let me click on Academic Journal here. I clicked on this box that says Academic Journals just to see if I get articles. So here it says book. if you look at this icon here, so usually when I'm doing research, what I do is I'll type in a broad term like this. It gives me potential articles or titles of sources that somehow relate to that topic. And then it'll tell me what type of source it is. So here when I get these titles, on this icon here it says a book. So it tells me that the source is a book, and then and what I'm assuming, because it's just 3 pages, it's probably like the chapter of a book. And let me see, let me scroll down. So here it'll tell, so this one, the Internet of Things benefits society. And it gives me a little bit of a summary of what the article's about. So it tells me the article discusses the social benefits of the Internet of Things, like business productivity, convenience, comfort, and better quality of life. So maybe those of you that talked about how the internet is harmful in certain ways, this might be a useful source to help you learn how the internet is helpful and how it's beneficial to society. So if you think perhaps this might be an article you want to use, what you do is you click on the title. It might give you like a longer summary. So an abstract is basically the summary of what the article is about. And then the nice thing is that I haven't really listened to them, but I believe if you want to listen to someone read you the article, you can. Otherwise, it tells you like the main talking points of this article, and then it gives you a summary of the article, and then it gives you more questions to think about. So that's when I clicked on the title. Let me see, I clicked right here where it says full text. So here, this is the way it actually looks in the book itself. So it gives you a summary of what argument this article is making. So I'm going to go back. And then what this points of view database does, that's similar to the CQ Researcher, is that it gives you an overview of the topic, but then it gives you like a counterpoint, meaning an alternative or a counter argument. So if you click on the counter argument, it tells you what are the major points that are opposite of the points that the article that you first read was making. So, and it gives you like other questions to consider. So it's nice in that it does that thinking for you. So let's say you find something that you say, oh, this is the argument that I was making in my first paper. So you could like click on that title and then see if it has a counterpoint. And then the counterpoint will help you think of the alternative view that you should be considering or thinking about. So let me go back and let me see if there's any other kind of source that might help you. So here, when I was saying, look at the icon. So some of them say book. So these that say book, even though it says the article offers a guide or whatever, the article does this, I think the article's in an actual book. So in the original source, it's consider it like a chapter in a book. Here, this journal, this would be an actual article that's in an academic journal. And keep in mind, a lot of these academic articles are lengthy, so they're between 10 to 20 pages, and that's a good size article. That's what you will be reading in college for journal articles. So I recommend that you take advantage of this opportunity. Use this opportunity to find a journal article to help you expand your discussion on this topic. Journal articles are difficult to read. They're written by academics. They're written in a way that is expected of people that are writing for other academics. So it's a good introduction to show you how writing in academia or writing for university professors looks like. And because when you get to your upper level classes, you're gonna be expected to be able to read these journal articles. If you notice, once I went to the second page, a lot of the articles are not directly related to the topic I was looking for. So if you look at this one, Reproducing Racial Capitalism, I don't see, even in the summary here, I don't see how this is directly related to technology. But there's some that are related. So as you can see, number 14, facial recognition and technology. So you just basically, when you're doing this kind of research, what you're doing is you're looking at potential sources that you could bring into your conversation for essay 2. So it takes some time. I would say it would take like an hour or two to look through CQ Researcher, look through this Points of View Reference Center. I also recommend looking at the Academic Search Premier one, Academic Search Complete, or Academic One File. Those are also good databases to try to find potential sources. So I will pause this video right now, and there is a part 3 that I want you to watch, and that one's hopefully will be a bit shorter. But before you watch part 3, what I want you to do is I want you to find at least 2 potential sources. So take these next few minutes, or like I said, it might take 1 or 2 hours. So take some time to carefully search through the databases and find some potential sources that gives you valuable information to help you build a discussion for essay number 2. And then in part 3 of this video series, we'll talk about what you should be looking for when you're reading these articles. So I will stop this video now, and I will let you start looking for potential source material.